Welcome to Sober Life University. My name is Enrique and I am a former high-functioning alcoholic that has been on a journey towards recovery from alcoholism for nearly a decade. In this channel, you will find content that will help you live your best sober life as we grow a movement of people who are living openly sober and demonstrating how sobriety has transformed millions of lives. This is your Sober Professor at Sober Life University, a digital university for those who are struggling with alcoholism, have questions about addiction, and those who are maintaining sobriety and overcoming addiction on a daily basis. When I was actively drinking, I remember waking up to embarrassing text messages, partial memories from the night before, and struggling to get through the day feeling tired and hungover, telling myself that I wouldn't drink that much again, only to find myself drinking that very same night. It was a never-ending cycle that went on for years, and I justified my drinking as I had managed to binge drink through college and still graduate with honors, climb the career ladder, maintain a social life, and even have a regular gym routine. On my Facebook and LinkedIn, it looked like I had it made. Having jobs where I traveled frequently, having a vibrant social life, and living by the motto of work hard, play harder. However, my regular drinking habit became more excessive over time and I started to experience more and more consequences, from having to call in sick because I was too hungover, missing important functions, getting into legal trouble, and eventually developing a physical dependence for alcohol and experiencing life-threatening alcohol withdrawals. I became so addicted to alcohol that I spiraled into days of binge drinking where I was drinking vodka straight from the bottle just to maintain the shakes at bay. I went through nearly 2 weeks of severe withdrawals where I was shaking and sweating, unable to hold any food and water down, and ended up being hospitalized. That's when I finally realized and admitted to myself that I had a problem and I knew I had to stop drinking for good. As I had hit rock bottom and was going through withdrawals, I was so embarrassed and ashamed that I had gotten to that level and I didn't want any of my friends or family to know. I had developed a public persona of being an overachiever and having all things under control as I had worked hard to build my career in public service. I was terrified of anyone finding out that I had a drinking problem and was afraid it would have an impact on my career. So I did what most millennials would do. I went to the internet. I found websites, forums, and chat rooms where I connected with others who had gone through alcohol withdrawals. I felt that the only people that I could trust would be somebody who had gone through something similar. I was met without judgment as people shared their experiences and gave me encouragement to stay sober as I was detoxing alone in my apartment. I had total strangers checking in on me daily on the internet. I spent hours online searching things like, am I an alcoholic? And watching videos on alcoholism, while reading forums online where people were talking about their drinking problems. And that's when I realized that I wasn't alone. I nervously went to Alcoholics Anonymous, hiding it from my friends and my colleagues, afraid that somebody might see me going into an AA meeting. I was so riddled with anxiety that I couldn't get myself to talk to anybody in the rooms, so I chatted with people online. I learned what others had done to stay sober and I started to implement their suggestions. When I would be offered a drink at a work function, I didn't know how to explain to my colleagues that I just couldn't drink. So I learned through online forums that the best way to avoid the topic is to tell people that I was on a health kick. The best thing about these online communities is that while some people would tell me things like, you're not really an alcoholic, you can have just one, or you just need to learn how to control your drinking, these online communities gave me the encouragement and support to stay sober. Some people posting daily the number of days they've been in sobriety and celebrating our sober anniversaries with people online. As of the time of this video, I'm going on nearly 4 years without drinking, and I've learned many lessons in my 10 years trying to cut my drinking, trying to get sober, relapsing, and finally finding the desire to truly want to live sober. In this channel, I'll share my experiences and what I've learned over the past 10 years as I've gone from wanting to cut back my drinking to now living fully sober and enjoying a healthier, happier, and more fulfilling life. As a legal disclaimer, this channel is for educational purposes only. I am not a trained medical professional and none of the information that is shared on this channel by myself or any of the guests should be taken as professional medical advice. You should always consult your primary care physician or mental health professional with implementing any of the suggestions made on this channel. Alcoholism, addiction, and withdrawals can be lethal without the proper medical help. If you are experiencing a medical emergency, please seek professional medical help or call 911 immediately. With that said, I created this channel after going through my own journey and getting sober and doing outreach in Skid Row out in downtown LA. What I noticed from both my time in recovery and doing outreach in Skid Row was that those most successful at maintaining sobriety were those that had a support network to help with accountability and having fellowship with an encouraging community. My hope is to build a community of people who have gone through the journey of sobriety, as well as those who are considering cutting back or quitting altogether. No two sober journeys are the same, but there is great power in being able to share our common struggles in overcoming alcoholism and encouraging one another to stay sober. In this channel, you will find weekly short videos that will cover topics on alcoholism and addiction, tips on how to cut back and stop drinking, and the many lessons that I've learned through my journey in sobriety. You will find weekly posts in the community section where I encourage you to join the conversation and share your experience getting or staying sober. I'll be doing live streams on Friday nights and what I'm calling Friday Night Live, where I'll be bringing special guests to talk about all things sober. Whether you're somebody that has been in recovery or somebody that's wondering if you have a problem drinking, you have come across this channel for a reason. And I'm so glad that you are here. Wherever you are in your journey, know that you are not alone and that recovery is possible. I remember when I first got sober how I felt isolated and alone, feeling that it was a secret that I had to keep away from my family, friends, and colleagues. It wasn't until I found a community of people who were living openly sober that I started to see how life got better with continuous sobriety, and the shame started going away, where I felt the need to share my story. I am glad that you are here, and no matter your situation, know that you are not alone and that things do get better. Your recovery is worth it. You are worth it. If you find this information helpful, please like and comment on the videos, as this will help the YouTube algorithm to push it out to more people so that others may hear this message. To make sure that you don't miss on the weekly videos, make sure to subscribe and click on the bell icon to receive notifications. This channel is as much my channel as it is your channel. So comment below what types of topics you'd like me to cover or any guests that you'd like me to bring on the show. We are building a community together. So join me in the movement to end the stigma around alcoholism and to live life openly sober. Until next class, the Sober Professor signing off.